Thank you for tuning into the latest episode of the SplashCast, your go-to podcast for news and discussion in the world of sports. This show is produced by Creative Logic Solutions. Whether the project is big or small, let Creative Logic Solutions help bring your vision to life. Catch our latest episodes and stay updated with the world of sports by tuning into the podcast live on Mondays or catch the re-air on Dive Team Media Network, where you can also check out other Dive Team Media content. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 214 of SplashCast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I am your apologetic co-host, Norwood.
And we're already stuttering.
Right. Stuttering like Joe. We are your HBCU homeboys. We don't have any HBCU news. We don't.
Nope, we don't. We'll get to HBCU basketball after football season is over, when college basketball really ramps up in your February time, right during what you call tournament season,
correct?
Conference championship season. So with that being said, y'all know what it is on Monday Night Raw. We do our HBCU news around the culture when we have it, followed by our football segment, college and pro. If you're listening to the recording of this, go back and listen to the mic check where we talked about the Hawks previous 4 games and the Trae Young news that came out. Now we are going to go ahead and get into this NCAA football.
Times. It was the worst of times. We're going to start out here though. Not add myself back to the stage. I tried to eliminate myself. Oregon cut Texas Tech ass 23-0. Me and Reggie both really wanted Texas Tech to win. They were the higher seed, and they were not the better team. They got a hot, flaming L.
But it wasn't Texas Tech's fault. So here's the thing. The score wasn't indicative of the entire game. Texas Tech's offense is the direct opposite of everything that we know Texas Tech to be, all the way back to the Mike Leach era. Like, RIP. Like, they score 1 million points. I think with Patrick Mahomes, he had 700 yards against Baker Mayfield and like 8 touchdowns or whatever, something crazy. So you had like, that's what we're used to, and now they have a really good defense. The transfer portal brought in a few players, and their defense was really good. And their defense, listen, to get 23 points, they didn't get 3 touchdowns and a safety. No, they got like a touchdown, a bunch of field goals, and the offense was just absolutely horrible. And I don't know if I watched the game, it really wasn't Oregon's defense doing much. The offense just was out of sync. They just looked bad.
Every time Oregon wins a game on TV, it feels like a revenge game. That, to say that Texas Tech offense was anemic is an understatement. There was nothing there. There was never anything there. And as Reggie has stated prior, this is a school that is notorious for putting points on your ass. It's one thing that they can do. They don't play no defense before this season. But they score points early and often.
JMU's offense was better. I mean, JMU scored 31 points. So, I mean, Texas Tech scored 0.
Show better than 0. Did you try, son? This wasn't a great bowl game. I can't.
It was exactly what a noon bowl game was supposed to be. It was an appetizer. Right. It's what it was. A little warm up.
Yes.
Get you going.
Now, speaking of warm ups, here we are. I don't know how we got here.
Oh, let me do this real quick. This is symbolic. Go ahead, brother. I'm going to clear out. First off, we're going to clear out because Indiana absolutely destroyed Alabama. And when I say destroyed Alabama, it was from the opening kickoff. Alabama scored 3 points to make it not a shutout.
Every time that I've gone against the Hoosiers, they've gone out of their way to prove to me that they don't give a damn about my opinion. They don't give a damn about me. and they don't give a damn about how I'm perceived on the internet by people who watch and support this podcast. They beat Ohio State handily when they did. And I picked Ohio State with all the gumption in the world. I have not respected this team the entire season. And I was okay because their schedule was whatever it was. But I said, all right, well, y'all beat Ohio State. I have to give you some respect. And they went right out there and beat Ohio State. And I said with that,
you still called them fraud and a scam.
I still thought that they were fraudulent, and I did give them the Nigerian Prince treatment. I was for sure that they were a scam via email. Well, let me tell you, they beat the shit out of the Alabama Crimson Tide. They beat Alabama. They beat Bama like they stole something. And not just stole something. They stole something that their mother gave to them and was a sentimental value the way they stomped them out. 38-3. I think that this is the worst Bama bowl game I can remember in recent memory or any memory, honestly. After Kalen Dolbear makes it into the playoffs and everybody seems to believe like, okay, number one, we thought he was going to win this game. Whew, we were all fools. And definitely didn't think that he was going to get monkey stomped like he did. Bama got beat so bad that now they're looking at Kalen like he's not the guy.
He had a conference with the GM and president of an athletic director the next week, like this week, like today. I think he had that today. I was like, damn, dog, he made it to the playoffs with this team. Don't matter.
Now, see, there are some things, but before I get to the points of support for myself, I know y'all want to hear it, and I'm going to say it. I fucked the money up. I did. Indiana, I was unfamiliar with your game. What y'all did to these boys was cruel and unusual, and I liked it.
Oh, you believe now. So you believe now.
Hold on. I liked it. Because it wasn't just a beating. This was malicious. This had hate behind it. The way that they whooped him, he channeled his Steve Spurrier. And, say whatever you want to, but when you really have a chance to step on a team's neck and you do it, kudos. I made a mistake. Also, y'all know I like crazy people. Crazy Cignetti, crazy C, never happy about anything. Just miserable. And I love it. He's very much so Joe Mazzulla-like to me. I came here to win. That's it. Straight face, nothing to laugh about, nothing to keep. Job not done. Not done. And I appreciate that. As much as I did not believe, they've made me a believer, and I want to see how it plays out going forward, man. I would not hate them winning a championship.
All right. So I had to clear out, let Norwood do his thing, apologize.
And y'all saw me do it because I want to be on the record as being fair and just. When I mess up, because I come in here and tell y'all what I was right. Like I told y'all, Trae Young needed to be traded 8 years ago. The same thing here. I was wrong, terribly wrong.
I hear you. So, with that being said, it's time.
Yeah, if you laughing too hard, too, I don't appreciate that, dog.
It's time, people. It's time. SEC fans, it's time to take the glasses off. The SEC is no longer the guaranteed national champion or even national champion runner-up anymore, thanks to all of the changes that have happened. NIL, transfer portal, and the playoff. Whether you like the playoff or not, the playoff is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Playing off.
Y'all wanted parity? This is parity. It has given... This will be the fourth year that we will have a different national champion. You had Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State. No repeats, which is what they were trying to keep from happening, was to not have any repeats. And let me tell you, Cignetti with that eyebrow went up there, whooped Kalen DeBoer. Listen, Indiana, y'all did it. Alabama, y'all are just absolutely fraudulent. I haven't seen the Alabama team get dominated like that since the SEC championship. Boom. And then
I'll wait because I do want to jump back in here.
Because in the last 2 games, Alabama has gotten beaten 66-10. 66-10. Now, there is a little bit of context to add to this game, although the way that we see Ty Simpson, the way that we see this game turn out, Ty Simpson getting hurt didn't matter at all. He did, I think he ended up breaking a rib. So that was a big deal because they did bring in Mack, who is a 6 foot. He looks really good, really a 6'6" quarterback who can move and really throw the ball. But they brought him in, and it's just no chance. There was no chance. Alabama's offensive line got destroyed. Cignetti had them. Cignetti's face. I heard the commentator say this. It's not anger. It's not arrogance. It's not sternness. It's
focus.
Not focus. It's looking at the other team in disgust. Like, how dare you even think that you can go for it on 4th and 1 in your own territory? You must think I'm a fool. You must think I'm soft. You think I'm a bitch. Pardon my language. I'll try to edit that out at 59:15. You must think I'm a B word. Y'all really try. Like, it's like y'all really trying me. And from the time they stopped them on 4th down, they basically decided we're going to not even throw the ball unless we have to. We're going to run you over. And that was surprising. They figured that they could run the ball against Alabama, and they didn't change nothing. Alabama stopped them on 1st and 10 and 2nd and 9. We're going to run the ball. They stopped them on 2nd and 9 and it's 3rd and 6. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. And if we don't run with the running back, then your boy Mendoza, shout out to you too. I was unfamiliar with your game. You can throw a pretty pass, brother. Every pass he made when he did decide to throw was on point. They were prepared. They were well coached. Cignetti said everything I learned about being a great coach, I learned in 1 year under Saban. Like, I learned more in 1 year under Saban than I learned anything else, and he runs it, and he's very no nonsense. He is the perfect portal coach. I'm coming here. I'm not your friend. I'm here to tell y'all we are here to do a job. We are here to win. And when I get here, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything for you. And you have to be that type of person to be able to take that coaching. And he's a great evaluator of talent. Kudos to Indiana. Kudos to Kurt Cignetti. Y'all whooped that ass. And you may have ushered us into a post-SEC dominant era. That's maybe it.
So I do have another part of this. I told y'all about Alabama. I told y'all all year, Ty Simpson is a scam.
Here you go, bro.
He been a scam. I said it on day one. I said him is a scam. Now, is he surrounded? Did I give too much credit to the players around him? Absolutely. Y'all chump too. Y'all chump too. I never thought that I would get to a point where I would see Alabama with no running game.
0. 126 out of 132.
Embarrassing. Like, I'm in a fraternity, and I know that, hey, if you're not doing what you're supposed to, your profiles come back, and it's not fun. Every Alabama running back should be there in Tuscaloosa. I don't even know what you can do. I couldn't even fathom in a million years no running game.
Not like that.
None. Like that. I'm talking about y'all got harassed. It was to the point where it's like, Is this the same?
And Kalen DeBoer, let me tell you, I've seen that look before.
Wait,
Alabama
back
fans.
up. I'm getting to him right now. Now I told y'all he was very questionable. I said y'all really love him.
Headlights look.
Y'all do not really love him. And I think your boy, number one, Lane knows that. And I definitely think that I said before, this Doberry ain't gonna make it long here. And everybody's like, no, he make the playoffs. And I drank a little other punch. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna beat him and then they'll be fine. He'll have at least a few years. He the only person who I've seen get off the hot seat, delivered, then go outside, cut the grill on 500 and jump on it by losing 38-3 and giving Indiana the biggest win in their football history.
Yeah, and he doesn't have an SEC title. You're coming off of Saban, who's at least going to get you to the game every year, and now you not even, or at least most years. But now, effectively, Texas has jumped them, and Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which Alabama fans are not going to. They are not going to stand for that.
And I'm going to tell you, y'all are going to have to do a lot of immediate soul searching, because if once y'all get beat like this, everybody's going to try you now. 100%, and rightfully so. You might mess around and let Florida try to catch you.
Yeah, well,
everybody's going to look at you like lunch because of how you played this game. Right or wrong, you are now the kid who has to go to recess and fight every day.
Yeah, I mean, because you've been beating up everybody all them years, and now everybody else.
You went through puberty. It's our turn
at 10. You went through puberty in 5th grade, and you beat everybody up, and now it's 11th grade, and everybody else is the same size or bigger than you. That's really what it is.
Sneaky says that Saban wouldn't have won with that team. He wouldn't have had that team.
Saban wouldn't have had that team, brother.
You think that team and they non-Russian ass? Man, not a chance. He would have cut that whole team and found a new team. The way that I've never seen a Nick Saban team just get throttled like this. I'm not even a Bama fan. I'm like, man, it make me uncomfortable to see him get beat like this. But y'all deserve it. Y'all had y'all time in the sun. Congratulations. It's over. Hey, Caleb.
Yep. Shout out to Indiana, man. Y'all did it. So now you got Oregon versus Indiana. On the other side of the bracket, boy, oh boy. Where we going? We going Miami or we going?
Where we going? I get this.
UGA.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hold on. UGA lost 39-34 to Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin.
Which seems to have been a blessing. I'll get to it. You got to let me talk, brother, because I'm the UGA fan.
Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll
let you sell it. Trinidad Chambliss had the game of his life. Cool. UGA loses to Ole Miss 39-34. Sans Lane Kiffin. Post Lane Kiffin with your man Pete Golding as the
Sneaky Pete
new head coach. This game was frustrating to watch.
No, it wasn't.
For me, because I saw in the second quarter, I was like, hey, now I see some shades of old Bobo that I don't like. The game started out. Georgia was
the air tonight.
Georgia was cooking Ole Miss, and they were doing exactly what Indiana did to Bama. We gonna line up 10 on 11 because we got quarterback. We gonna line up 10 on 11, and we're gonna run the ball straight at you, and we're gonna try to find out if you gonna stop us. Ran the ball straight at him, touchdown. Ran the ball straight at him, field goal. Second quarter, we started doing a little dilly-dallying, a little BS, a little throw the ball. We started throwing
Dilly and the dally.
Started throwing these screens, and we threw a couple in the first quarter, but then we stopped. Started throwing these screens, and I was like, "Hey, now, Bobo, why are we throwing a screen?" So then we would fall into 2nd and 11, and I was like, "Hey, now, Bobo, what are you doing? It's not rocket science. Everything worked. Everything worked." And then Ole Miss went down and scored because we threw the ball way more than we ran in the second quarter. And at the end of the second quarter, that kicker hit that 50-something yard field goal. And I said,
I put it in the bucket.
I said, now that's going to come back to get us. And we were doing stuff. He started doing stuff in the third quarter, like throwing fades on 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 8. We throwing fades, throwing screen passes after a penalty. So it's 1st and 15. We throw a screen pass. It's now 2nd and 17. And I'm like, dude,
I love it.
This is not difficult. We have 5 backs. 5. Run the backs. We didn't do it. We didn't sub in Bowens. I think Bowens is either hurt or something. And I sat there, and at this point, I think I don't really get like upset. I don't really scream or anything like I used to. I just sat back with Bobo and I said, we about to lose this game. I said, we're going to have to rely on the defense. And you can't rely on no defense against Ole Miss. You got to score points. And Trinidad Chambliss.
Trinidad Jane, goal everything.
Absolutely. Doug Flutie. I don't even know who else does that. Was that Aaron Rod? No. Brett Favre. Like, Georgia called all the right defenses except for the last play. They called all the right defenses to stop him, and he ran all the way back to the goal line on one play. Spun around, ran to the left, and threw it to the running back who got destroyed pass blocking, got up and was wide open. The play before that, he juked, spun around, and flipped the ball to the running back. And I said, oh, the stars are aligning. This is about to happen for them. And boy, Kirby. I've said this about the Falcons. I have said this every time I've said this, it just happened. So I'm careful about when I say it. If you hit your wagon to Mike Bobo, I said it when you hired him. I said, you'll never win a championship with Mike Bobo. I said, you'll never win a championship. I even made these reels. Y'all can go back to our Instagram. The reels are right there. It's me. I tagged myself and I collaborated with myself. Pause if necessary. So you can see it on my profile.
Collaborating with himself.
That's funny. I'm gonna say that as a joke. And you can see it on the podcast profile. I said Mike Bobo has never won a big game. And they were like, Texas. I was like, the defense had 2 turnovers and did everything. We only scored 17 points. They were like, oh, we beat Texas again. I said, Jaylen Walker had like 4 sacks. And now he's, the 4th best defensive rookie in the league right now. I was like, there was like, even this year, I said, yeah, we were bad. And then against Tennessee, we kind of turned up on offense. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't look good. But y'all jumped in the comments and y'all told me I'm crazy. Y'all vouched for Bobo. Y'all told me how much of a good man he is. I said,
he's a good man, Savannah.
My man went right out there and did exactly what we thought he was going to do. And you fools that are out here talking about, don't fire Mike Bobo. This is one bad game. Where have you been? Mike Bobo, this is his second stint. We have a decade plus of tape to see Mike Bobo choke away games on the biggest stage. And you could blame Mark Richt before. You always blame Mark Richt, which was cool because Mark Richt was a CEO coach in a time that where CEO coaches don't really flourish anymore, right? You normally have to coach something unless you're Cignetti. So at that time, I was like, hey, it might not work. You got Kirby Smart. The defense allowing 39 points to Ole Miss is not frustrating to me. Because 39 points at Ole Miss is, they the number 1 offense in the nation. Certified.
And they showed y'all.
and And shout out to you, Lane. You mugging, and I'm gonna be quiet. Lane, they took everything that Lane did, bigging them up. They took him going on and talking to during the games,
Took it as a
doing
disrespect.
halftime shows, retweeting Go Ole Miss from Louisiana, showing LSU behind Ole Miss in a game. All of that stuff they took personally. Everything that they took, whether Lane meant it to be nice or not, they took it as disrespect. And they came out. Pete Golden did that thing where he huddled them up on the sideline before they went in the locker room and cussed them out. And they said, Pete Golden basically told us to drop our nuts and just fight, because you don't know who's going to be on the roster next week. If we win, we only know who's going to be on the roster next week. You only have to play for today. And when you come out there and he put up the scheme, I'm just not going to let y'all run the dive the whole game. And Mike Bobo could not figure it out, which defense got tired. You can't chase that dude right there that just read up on his contract, Trinidad Chambers. You can't chase him for more than 2-3 seconds. It's over with. And he's amazing, bro. I don't know. He looks like Russell Wilson to me a little bit.
Number one, congratulations to him. If they grant him the 6-year eligibility, he's going to take it.
Already resigned, brother.
And going to have a bag of money. Lacey, 22 carries, 98 yards, 20 points in the fourth quarter.
And the defense scored a touchdown. I forgot about
20 points in the fourth quarter to beat UGA. I picked UGA to win this game just because that's what
the whole country did.
But to see the way they beat y'all, it brought real joy to me. And then you know what the best part was? After y'all had your asses kicked, they kept bringing y'all back out on the field to do shit. And I was just like
game defensive player of the game who was
just re-kick the ball. Kick the ball again. The people that brought the stage out. I love seeing them just go out there 3 and 4 times after we know the game is well in hand, defeated, just to be out on the field. You got to feel the kickoff with the confetti already dropped. Everything. It brought me immense joy to see your team lose that way. And I'm really thinking that 2026 is starting in a very magical way for me. Looks like Trey is on out of here. UGA lost.
We'll get to the Falcons.
Bama lost. Hold on.
No, I don't want you to spoil the Falcons. That's why I said we'll get to it.
No. Okay. Trey gone. Bama whooped. Georgia not whooped. Georgia lost the Georgia way. Georgia just dragged, but it's really just a repeated dragging of come on back out here one more time. Y'all knew y'all had already lost the game. But to just be continuously pulled out there after the confetti, it made everything. And then all of this happening in the universe, in my universe right now, just make me feel so blessed. And then this happened. Ohio State loses to Miami 14-24.
This was less of a shocker for me, though.
Yes and no. I really thought that Ohio State was at one point the best team in college football. Then they started playing people. Play Indiana, butt handed to them. Hold that. Then you think, I'm sure in my head, they're going to bounce back and beat the University of Miami Hurricanes. No. Miami, first of all, this is
congratulations to me. First of all.
What do you mean?
I picked Miami.
Oh, yes, correct. The way that Miami hits, you think that they brought the cocaine back.
Somebody was on it out there.
I ain't seen nobody hit like that since they played when Uncle Luke was handing out money after games. It was, they hit like NFL players today. You know, you're watching games, and now especially football has been a lot more protected. It's a lot softer. No, Miami, they play demonically. They want to destroy you. They want to really hurt you physically in ways that you had not imagined. And Ohio State was catching hell. And they just weren't built. They're not built for that.
Caleb, what's the safety? Caleb Downs. He was right.
Yes.
He said it. This is a reference back to the SplashCast versus the world. Let us know if you want to join our thing. He said that, hey, in the Big Ten conference, you only got to play like really 4 games. You ain't really got to. Everybody else is SEC is week in, week out.
Right.
This was the first time I saw an Ohio State team look scared. Tate didn't want to catch the ball.
That's who I was looking for. He got planted early and had alligator arms. That boy got scary. He got real scary. I'm talking about Charmin soft. I'm talking about I don't want no parts of that. And that. Because I think
the only one that was really balling on offense. Now, what I couldn't understand is why Ohio State didn't run the ball. But the only one that was really balling on offense was the guy from Miami. The guy from Miami was no, you can't add the ACC because it's only Miami. The guy from Miami, Jeremiah Williams or Smith? Smith, right?
Smith.
Jeremiah Williams. Jeremiah Smith.
Killer.
Who almost went to Miami because he's from Miami and literally knew everybody on the field.
He's a killer. He's a murderer killer.
That's when I knew they were going to lose. How I knew we were going to lose because of Bobo. I knew that they were going to lose when they only threw the ball to him. They didn't run the ball. They didn't throw it to no tight ends. They threw the ball to him. Granted, that's a great option to have because I think he had like 8 catches for 100.
That is the right answer. If you got somebody to throw it, that's I forgot the dude who's the quarterback at Alabama, and Nick Saban was upset with him. He's like, "Hey, well, if you don't want me to throw the ball to Julio, take him out. I will run the play the right way if Julio's not in the game. But if Julio's got 1-on-1, I'm throwing it. And that's
every time. Every time, and that's what they did. And I'm interested to see what happens with him.
Get crushed. Play after play after play.
Man, the defense, Mario Cristobal, shout out to you. You got your first win. You have completed, and this lends to coaches while you give coaches a little bit of time. Yep. He's completed the full turnaround of Miami. The full turnaround. Now, the only thing, I don't think he's won a ACC championship yet, but hey, he's in the college football semifinals. And they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They ain't beat you with Carson Beck. Everybody's saying Carson Beck. They have taken the ball completely out of Carson Beck's hands. They've given it to this big Derrick Henry looking dude that they have at running back, Fletcher. And then they have little Tony. They got little Tony out there.
Yeah.
And they just figure out a way to give you the ball. He lived down that one loss when he should have kneeled.
Them Tonys is good.
But them safeties for Miami, number 8, put the fear of God in you. And number 0 was everywhere, including the pick 6, where I'm looking at the sideline, letting you know that y'all are trash. I was like, game over with. And it felt like that was in the second quarter, and it felt like the game was over after that.
And had the pick 6 and then did the Thorpe pose. I love chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Y'all nailed this. Also, we don't have to hear now. It's real peaceful in the world. Don't have to hear any UGA. I don't have to hear any Bama. I don't have to hear any Ohio State. I know maybe 2 Miami fans and everybody else. Go for it.
I don't know any Indiana fans, but that defense for them. And shout out to Ruben Bain. He has given me my new saying for folks that talk a lot of trash and then have to don't back it up. Kind of like what you did with Indiana.
I came here to apologize.
And Ohio State doing all that fat mouthing is what he said. Doing all that fat mouthing.
He done had quotes after every game, and they all are home runs.
And shout out to Mike Worthams from Alabama, his homeboy from Fairfield, that gets on live after every time they win and talks trash about the other team and says, "Stop me if you don't want me to do it." They have the swagger back, and that's shot Michael Irvin. Congratulations to you, because you have stuck by them forever. That boy was sweating in the cold.
OG Irv he took the belt to ass too far. Y'all gotta dial it back. I know y'all ain't gonna be able.
No,
I know y'all
haven't been here.
I know I'm not talking about dial that back. I'm talking about dial his doses back a little bit.
We ain't messing with the juju. Irv, if you gonna go out there in a sweater with no t-shirt on, which is wild, and you gonna pull the belt off and smack and beat the cooler, as long as we keep winning, we gonna keep doing that. And you have to believe that out of the teams here, Indiana and Miami are favored.
Quick break here. Charlotte Hornets 124, OKC Thunder 97.
I was gonna say something about
I believe that to be right, and I'm glad that you cooperated there. I assume my internet was broken.
We got League Pass. Shout out to us. And I have been watching that the whole time. And I was like, hey, shout out to San Antonio. They have broken the Thunder. The Thunder have lost 5 out of 6. 6 out of 7 after this. 6 out of 7. They lost by 27 points.
Now the other part about this is, though, when y'all see Ruben Bain, he a young man with an old face.
And
a skinny mustache. I was like, what? Now y'all better not play with that man.
That boy reincarnated. That's civil rights.
He been through some things. He been here before.
That boy been marching in Selma. Let me tell you, y'all better leave him alone.
That boy say y'all
saying stuff like that.
Mouthing.
Y'all better. Ruben Bain, that defensive line whooped Ohio State, and I
was raised by somebody's grandmother.
I said that. Yeah, he definitely go out there watermelon picking and fixing carburetors and radiators. That's not a racial thing about watermelon picking. That's a South Georgia South thing where you actually pick watermelons. That makes you strong.
And you buy them off a truck.
Yes.
From an old man in coveralls.
But hey man, that team is wild. That team is crazy. And yeah, the semifinals are set now.
And this is really goodish. That Ole Miss high-powered offense against University of Miami's smack you in the mouth defense. The Fiesta Bowl, I think, is the one to watch. That should be good. I think that's going to give us a really, really good dogfight. Now, I have some concerns from Oregon. I'm not sure who they are, but Indiana is not playing with y'all. And I think that, right now, after beating Alabama, y'all look like lunch, Oregon. And y'all gonna need to come out there and set some boundaries very early. This potentially could be Indiana versus Miami, 1 versus 10, in a knockout drag out fight.
Outside of Miami, I think these rest of these teams, this would be their first national championship if they were to
win. Absolutely.
So since we didn't do it Saturday, we got to pick these games.
Yeah, because these are not. These will
Thursday
be
and Friday.
All right. It's easy for me. Indiana's made me a believer. Go Hoosiers. If y'all got a Bobby Knight shirt, I will wear it. I'm in now. I'm in. I'm gang. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Even though my soul don't trust it, you gain my respect. Everything I've asked you to do, you've done. Once you've done that, I feel required to shut the fuck up now until proven otherwise. Does my gut still want me to say no? Yes, but I have a brain and I have good common sense. And Christopher, you see what they did to Ohio State? You said it couldn't be done. You said that they was going to get whooped by Bama, and they did. Well, I am picking the Hoosiers. And I don't trust Oregon. Oregon offense, like, they just got lucky and played against a team with no offense.
0.
And I think if you play a team with offense, you're going to lose. So I'm taking Indiana. Now this game, No, not at all. That's the reason it was easy for me to pick. Now, Ole Miss and Miami, you need to get your beers and food ready. Be planted somewhere where you can comfortably watch this without any shenanigans or any distractions. I don't think that Ole Miss can keep pulling this off. I'm going to go with Miami, which gives us a 1 versus 10, which is an excellent playoff.
Sentiments are similar. I don't think Oregon has enough to beat Indiana. Now, again, the underlying plot of this entire playoffs and this entire thing is it's very difficult to beat a team twice. Very difficult to beat a team twice. Oklahoma could not beat Alabama twice. Georgia could not beat Ole Miss twice. Miami, did Miami play Texas A&M? Yes. No. Who? Miami lost to. Yeah, they lost to Texas A&M, and they had 3 losses. Never mind. It's hard. It's hard either way. It's hard to beat a team twice. So Indiana playing Oregon again is going to be a difficult game. This is not going to be a blowout. This might be another one of those rock fights. But right now, in a rock fight, I'm taking Cignetti. I ain't taking Indiana. I'm picking Cignetti. Now, I said before I go to this other game, I'm gonna expose you a little bit. Norwood also says and he said it on this pod a few times. He said, as soon as I start rooting for a team, they lose. So I'm gonna nip this in the bud, and I'm gonna root for Indiana because when I root for a team, they lose. So just Indiana fans, when this clip goes out, just know that he really still wants y'all to lose, but he's picking y'all because y'all have literally shut him up.
Yeah, yes, correct. You've met the requirements in order for me to shut up.
So that means you can't come here and say I told you so if they lose.
No, I can't. Y'all try to make me into this irrational, crazy
Nobody
person.
Makes you into anything.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. At the end of the day, I said, Ohio State. They did what I asked. Bama, you went above. You opened the portal of possible things I had yet to consider. I have to, at that point, as a rational person, say, hey, you win. And until proven otherwise, you the biggest, baddest thing in the neighborhood. And I mean, 38-3 was that's a drubbing. You passed the sticks at 21.
I think it's more how that 38-3 happened. The fact that they just ran them over, they didn't do any trick plays. They didn't run no double reverse pass. They didn't run no screens.
Harassment.
Halfback dive, halfback draw, halfback sweep, counter, play action pass, touchdown, halfback dive, halfback draw, counter, play action pass, touchdown. And that's all it was. I was like, oh.
And Bama had just nothing. Nothing.
We knew that game was over after the first drive. That's what's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a formality.
That went from big TV to little TV real quick.
Move right on over.
So it's a dead body. How long do you want me to watch this?
So I'm picking Indiana here in a tough game, but I believe in Cignetti, and it's here in Atlanta, so you're gonna have a bunch of tourism here. And then the Fiesta Bowl. I am picking Miami. Here's why. Defense travels. Ole Miss, while they do have all those wide receivers, which they do, and they can score, Miami has a 6'2" running back, and they have Reuben Bain Jr. and that whole defensive line and them safeties. And you keep running them little shallow crossing routes, you're going to get smoked. And I also think that the motivation of Lane Kiffin leaving is kind of gonna unless he continues
it's waning
to do things. I think that that fuel reserve eventually is gonna run out, and Miami is the team that can definitely make that fuel reserve run out. And also, there's will Ole Miss's assistant coaches stay or leave, right? Because they're the ones that are going with LSU. If I'm not mistaken, the running back coach has already left after the game against Georgia to go coach with LSU because they have to recruit the transfer portal. And Lane Kiffin is a transfer portal coach, as Ole Miss's roster is like 70% transfer players. So, or 66, but I rounded up. So for me, there's motivation becomes distraction. And I think that distraction against this Miami defense, the way that defense playing, it didn't matter if Ole Miss or Georgia won. To be honest, it ain't matter what happened.
They ready to get to the face punching.
So that leaves us with both agreeing that it's going to be a 1 versus 10, and we will have a championship or a champion, a first-time champion, at least in my lifetime. If Ole Miss won in the 40s, I don't count that because I ain't let black people play. So, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know who to root for. I want Indiana to win with Cignetti.
I like to be able to watch games and not have to root for anybody. Score every play. It's once again LaMelo Ball theory. As soon as my teams are not there, I just want to enjoy football. Do whatever y'all can. Do a backflip, more hook and ladders, flea flickers if you can do it and not be embarrassing like some people. But
Carolina. With that being said, we will be right back. We're going to take one more break. And then we're going to come back with
y'all go ahead.
Come back with our NFL segment.
Drinks.
Starting out with our Falcons Focus.
Drinks.
It was actually a really good weekend for the Falcons organization.
It surely was. One of the best in history, in historical.
And then we'll also talk about Bloody Monday. It happens after the end of the season. Week 18 is the end of the season. And then we'll talk about the playoffs and the wild card. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Please remember to give us a like, subscribe, and a follow. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan watching this, you have to give the Falcons fans a like.
I'm collecting drinks from all of you Panthers fans. Make sure you clip this up because I expect this and it will go out. I want drinks from every Atlanta Panthers fan I know. Sid, Jack, John Tay, all of y'all. First one on you.
All y'all.
Because without us, there is no you. When you look on that beach and you only see one set of footprints, it's because the Falcons carried you. Remember that.
Not the Chapel of Atlanta.
Exactly. Remember that. We'll be right back.
Stained glass. We need an Atlanta Falcons stained glass logo like the Hawks have.
We can do that. We'll be back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 214 of the SplashCast Monday Night Raw. Let's get into it. NFL segment, NFL news around the league. Y'all know what it is. We do Falcons Focus.
Like I talk it. Hey, walk like that.
We do Falcons Focus, and then we go around for the rest of the league. So we're going to jump right in, man. The Atlanta Falcons. Did not mean to click that. Hope I didn't take nothing down. The Atlanta Falcons, before all the movement, played the New Orleans Saints in a game of a 6-10 team versus a 7-9 team. And let me tell you, it looked like a 6-10 team versus a 7-9 team. It was a terrible game to watch. Falcons win 19-17. Defense does get it done. Offense does just enough. At least we found a kicker. And the Falcons beat the Saints. Shout out to you losers. The Saints.
Shout out to the Falcons. The defense is defensing. The offense can and will be going to hell. I think that I feel very confident that the fact that we could not really get this offense moving against a Saints team, it's a decent defense, but we had all the weapons. We had every weapon. And we could just never really get this thing off the ground. I think that I feel confident. Thank you, Kirk Cousins. I think you've been a wonderful soldier. You've done what we've asked, but your time has now come to an end. It's over. I think that the Porsches that we have in the garage, Bijan, Drake, fantastic, Kyle Pitts, YTD, yet to be determined. We will see how we figure that out, but he did have a fantastic game. I really enjoy our offensive roster. We just need somebody who can drive a Lamborghini. The defense, and James Pierce Jr., 10.5 sacks. 10.5 sacks.
Really in like
right
14 games.
Correct. Let me say, Terry Fontenot, that was a hell of a risk to take. Risk well taken. We have our edge rushers. What's the kid in the middle? I can't think of his name. LaCal London, I think is his name.
LaCal London, he's a monster.
Monster.
And Ruka Roro.
Right.
And Brandon Dorless.
And I was about to say Dorless, no structural damage. I think he'll be back well in enough time. I feel very confident. Xavier Watts.
Got that in the trade for James Pierce Jr. You flipped that.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Right. Everything. Defense, 10 out of 10. I love it here. Chaotic. Gave them hell. I've caught a lot of hell today. I think that Tyler Shuck is a decent quarterback. I know the Saints believe him to be their future quarterback. They're not going back into the draft this year and drafting another quarterback. I think he's played pretty decent. He is in the conversation for Offensive Rookie of the Year. People can believe or not believe whatever they want to. I think you're entitled to your opinion. If there's definitely room for growth, but I think the kid is solid. We made it very difficult for him. Mostly. He still hit us for like 20 or 25. He just wasn't throwing the ball down the field. That tight end from the Saints is good too, Johnson.
Juwan Johnson for Oregon, or converted receiver. Yeah, he's really good.
He's a man.
You said with Tyler Show that he's good. I am not sure. I put him in the Bo Nix category for me.
Fair.
But for me,
yes, I agree with that.
Him and Kellen Moore should be best friends, because Kellen Moore calls the type of offense that accentuates his strengths, and he's way more mobile than I thought he was.
Yep.
And they just really didn't have anybody. Their defense played really well, to be honest. Their defensive line, Cam Jordan, feasts. He like the Raptors to the Hawks. He feasts on the Falcons.
Lunch every time.
And Carl Granderson, I think is his name. Kellen is a good play caller. He is. Kev,
damn good play caller, man. I will 100% say that, man. That guy, he know what the hell he doing.
Yeah. And they're going to be a problem next year, because they're going to get a lot of that dead old money off the books. And their offense really stalled when Kelvin Banks Jr. went out. That's when we really started kind of putting pressure on him.
He's good, but he got hit with the James Pierce Jr. James Pierce Jr. threw him into another human, and it was over. And that's why I was like, because I've watched Banks play. He ain't no joke either. James hit him with there. Hey, get out of here. And he just melted. It was over. And I probably would have melted too. I don't care this much. You're not going to let this man, this barbarian harass me, and we not even going to the playoffs. This is stressful. I'm going home.
Yeah. So shout out. That was a great game. Falcons. It was frustrating because the Falcons finished 8-9. The Saints finished 8-9. The Bucks finished 8-9. And we basically would have won the division if we didn't blow it against the Jets or New England or Tampa game 1 or Carolina or all of those close losses that we've had. That's frustrating. It was frustrating to beat the Rams. It was extremely frustrating for everybody to finish 8-9. Shout out to Tremaine. He said there's going to be 8-9 wins the division. He said that a long time ago. And it happened.
I reposition the way that you think about that?
Sure.
Would you have felt better had we won one more game, won the NFC South, and kept Raheem?
So you just want to go into the Raheem and Terry conversation?
I mean, we're there now.
So now the Falcons have fired. They had the press conference. Apparently everybody said that they wanted Raheem back and they liked Terry and all the players vouched for him. And it just did not matter. The Arthur Blank family has decided to clean house. And when I say clean house, I mean clean the whole house, the shed and the garage.
Y'all know who you talking about.
They got Raheem out of there, which then also takes Zach Taylor out of there, or Zach Robinson out of there. They got Terry out of there.
Don't like that move.
And I ain't even really, I'm sad about Terry, and I got thoughts on all of that. We could talk about it here in a second, but I got to say this. It also got Rich McKay out of there.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. Very frustrating to hear, though. If you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, you can vouch. Arthur Blank been telling us for years that Rich McKay has been removed from the football operations altogether. He is supposed to overlook Arthur M. Blank sports. He was supposed to overlook the development of the soccer team. He was supposed to do all of those things a few years ago when everybody in the city and any Falcons fans around the world said, hey, Rich McKay has to go. And you sat up there in your press conference and told us that Rich McKay will no longer make decisions and nobody will report to him. So then how in the blue hell can you fire somebody that's not even supposed to have a job? That
getting the double corporate restructure is crazy. You already told us that he wasn't even on this program no more. How is he back here again? But I assume this time the way that it was positioned, he's gone. All the way gone. And we do have a new president, Greg Beatles.
Oh, yeah, Greg Beatles. So he's been with the company. He's been with the Falcons for 32 years, graduate at LSU from Atlanta, and basically interned with the Falcons and worked his way all the way up and has been with the Falcons for 32 years. He oversaw the development and bringing in of the soccer team as well as building, had a significant input and oversight on the building of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and all of those things that Rich McKay was supposed to be doing instead of running the Falcons. He actually did it. So,
Is that my gun? Is that my gun?
Just lying. You just lying. You just lying. That's why people sick of you just lying, Arthur. You lying, Arthur. But now there was a huge, and I don't think we have the actual letter that Arthur Blank wrote because it's 1,000 words. But essentially, he said we hired a consulting firm to look at our company from top to bottom. If you've seen the movie The Office, it's pretty much what they did. They hired a consulting firm and figured like, well, what do you actually do? We don't need you. And they got Rich McKay, and they moved him out, and they fired Terry. And you said something that kind of caught me and caught my eye. It was like Terry never had a chance. They knew that they were going to fire Raheem and Terry as soon as we lost like 4 or 5 in a row.
And I do appreciate that he was not swayed by the 4 meaningless wins. I do give him credit for being decisive. Right after Raheem said his little piece, came right off the podium. Arthur Blank hit him with the, all right, brother, take it on easy. You won't come this way again. And that was it. And Terry was going to go because Rich McKay got put basically under the bus here too. There was no way that you was going to move McKay and kind of attribute some of this to him and fire Raheem and not fire Terry. Now, this is what I will say. If your team does not have a good roster, you should be trying to hire Terry Fontenot. I will say, he knows what he's doing. I think it's unfortunate that he got hooked to Raheem, but he's given us a hell of a roster. And I am appreciative and I am thankful. We can part ways and I can say, hey, I think you did a really good job. Now, Raheem, you're a black man. I hope you land on your feet. I don't have many positive things to say about you coaching. So I won't say anything negative. But Terry Fontenot, 2 thumbs way up. As a Falcons fan, supporter, podcaster, I will say that man is talented. And New Orleans, call him. Y'all team janky?
No, I think New Orleans is about to get out from under all of that jankiness. But for me, my thoughts on it are, for Raheem, it's hard to justify not winning a division that's this bad. It's hard to justify with the roster that you have, which most people would think is either the first or second most talented roster, not winning the division, and no team has a winning record. I think that's the first time in history this has happened. Maybe second. No team has a winning record and you can't win the division. And the games that you lost a few of them were based on coaching decisions either during the game or before. When you should have cut Younghoe Koo. You should have cut Younghoe Koo a long time ago. You didn't do it. You let your relationships cloud your judgment. So you didn't cut Younghoe Koo. He ends up missing multiple field goals to win the game or tie the game. And then you bring in a bunch of people who aren't good at field goal kicking, and you lose those games. In-game management was absolutely awful. You didn't do anything. I've asked y'all every week that we've come here during the times when we were playing and losing, what does Raheem do?
He's a people connector. He's a people connector. That's it. When he first got this job, I said, what does that mean?
Nothing. So, and then you were unorganized. You look like a first-time head coach that didn't know what they were doing. You had to fire your defensive coordinator after the first year. Not even the whole first year. You fired him during the first year. Then you didn't make Zach Robinson get out of the pistol for whatever reason, and you made Michael Penix the unquestioned starter with hindsight is 2020 when he couldn't even line up under center. I'm confident that even though I don't like Zach Robinson, I can look at the way that he's called the plays going forward after Penix got hurt, that Penix wasn't comfortable lining up under center and doing play action pass. That is coaching.
And you never taught him how to do it. If you look, this is the thing where it really just I was praying to myself that Raheem would be let go after. You look at the very first play of the game versus the Saints. Kirk Cousins is telling Zach Robinson, hurry up getting the play in. This is the first play means you were standing next to him. And you could have told him to play before he left the fucking sideline. And if we don't have that level of communication, Raheem, systems and processes, your team is good. This is the most sacks we've had in franchise history. Drake played great. Bijan had an enormous season. And we still were 8-9. It's you. It's the simple things that teams do.
Didn't have Penix playing in the preseason. What's up, Nessa? You right. Forgot about that.
Day-to-day things you just did not do. Those are the things that you can. Yes, going into this season with Young Way Cool, like Reggie said, you did these things to yourself. You had been given everything you needed to be successful, and you chose to fail in spite of. Well, best of luck at your next destination. That's all I got.
The rah-rah situation, scapegoating Ike Hilliard, lying about Darnell Mooney, saying it's his shoulder when he broke his collarbone, and then deciding that we're not going to go get anybody else. All of those things came back to bite you in the butt, and it's just not how you run a team from your position. And I think that's what sealed your fate. And I think that's really what sealed your fate probably back during Carolina, the 30-0 game, to be honest. I think you would have saved your job if you had won the division. And for Terry Fontenot, to me, this was more strictly business. Some of the good things he built this roster up. But there were a few things I said again, and I hate being right about my teams when I predict things that aren't going to happen.
We would much rather y'all win.
But you didn't address the tackle position after your starting right tackle got hurt and his replacement got hurt. You decided to go with Elijah Wilkinson. And while he played above Elijah Wilkinson's standards, he still sucked. You didn't address the wide receiver position that at the trade deadline. You didn't do anything at the trade deadline, and our offense took a step back because we didn't have a third receiver.
And Keenan Allen sat there forever. And I said, hey, don't we have somebody who he's better than on this roster? And we just never were interested. There were too many guys that were good enough to play on this team that for whatever reason, we let get all the way up to week 1. So it's not like anybody was, you could at least call and had them tell you no. We weren't even making the effort. So that is where the one place, I don't know if it's Raheem or if it's Terry, but whatever it is, that part is what it is. I did not like that. I think that in both seasons, we could have made some in-season adjustments to help us out, to help your damn self out, to be completely honest. Y'all knew what it was.
That's the frustrating part. You knew what it was, and you lied, and then you lied to everybody's face. And now it's I will say it's very rare for a GM.
You lied to everybody, and you didn't help your own self out. We all looking at this roster like we need another receiver.
Said it every week. But it's very rare. I will say it's very rare for a GM to not be able to get their replacement coach, right? He was hired with Arthur Smith. He did not hire Arthur Smith. So to me, that's not his hiring. He brought in Raheem. Raheem ain't it. You probably were going to have to make that change. Now, we don't know what went on behind the scenes. You could have said, I'm not going to make that change. And they said, okay, well, both of y'all are out. But to me, it all comes down to the cap. And you did relieve a lot of the cap situation. But going back, now that you've been fired and reading what Arthur Blank said and all of these things, and I have something to say about Arthur Blank. We need to circle back to that. But all of those things, we had just got out of cap hell. We just got out of cap hell with Matt Ryan and Julio kicking the can down the road for year after year. And then you go sign Kirk Cousins to $180 million. You bring in Michael Penix. And to me, that was like you playing the little joker. That was your little joker. And you thought that you had solved the quarterback problem. But if it didn't work, they were going to fire you because that was your all or nothing. And unfortunately, the person to your left had the big joker.
But my thing is, why were you not developing Michael Penix when he was sitting behind Kirk Cousins in under center? That was your time to do it.
The whole offseason. But Zach Robinson said we're going to put in the pistol. And then when you see that the pistol don't work, that no play action works off the pistol, why would you not force him to change it?
That is what got everybody fired. Was everybody was so committed to doing what they were doing that they would never make a change. You have to be adaptable in this time, or you're going to go home. Now, you can't go down in the blaze of glory, but this is the blaze, and this is your glory, and you out of here. Adios, mi amigos, to all parties involved. And
Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan is rumored to be going to have a front office position. A lot of people thought it was going to be like a GM president situation. They thought he was going to get Rich McKay's job, but then you see Greg Beadle, so you're like, well, what could it be? Then Arthur Blank says he's working with the consulting firm, and they actually created a position called president of football operations or president of football, whatever that is. And they combine the president and CEO roles instead of just making it CEO and then president. They combine those roles, and now it is looking like Matt Ryan, who is actively looking at GM and coaching candidates, will take that role, and he will report to Greg Beadles.
I've heard, once again, y'all know I'm the only Matt Ryan fan that will actually be president in the world. Everybody else hate Matt Ryan, except for me. Yeah. Okay, you might not, but the vast majority of people do hate Matt Ryan. I don't know what y'all beef is with him. He was the best soldier that we have ever needed in the moment when we were the most needy. He worked with us with our money and tried as long as he possibly could until the cost just became unbearable. The guy clearly knows football inside and out. I'm not sure what y'all expect. Nobody had any issues when John Lynch did this. Nobody had any issues when John Elway did this. Everybody else does this with their quarterback or their guy. I think that this is a fantastic guy. I think he knows the game inside and out. I think that he's a hell of a quarterback and definitely not the most athletic by any stretch of the imagination. So I think this is a perfect guy to kind of get us back. He's the equivalent of our Chipper Jones.
I hope that the new coach and GM understand, because you have to think that Atlanta is the best available job right now, just based off the roster, the flexibility that you have, because you more than likely think Kirk Cousins is going to go. And because Kirk Cousins ain't here for a rebuild, it's win now because he's 37, 38, 39, however old he is.
He just needs to go somewhere else where he can have the team. This is still Michael Penix's team as soon as he's healthy. So,
well, I don't agree with that. But the new coach is going to inherit a team that is 28th, will have the 28th or the fourth easiest is the better way to say it. The fourth easiest schedule next year based on this year so far. In the 2026 season. And at this point, they're already talking about, now what I don't like is they talking about Kevin Stefanski and all of that. And I won't go into who they're talking about, but they leaked about Clint Kubiak. And I think he's going to be the one that's at the top of the roster, top of the thing for them, because he is an outside zone. He is the son of Gary Kubiak, and he's an outside zone guy. And Bijan Robinson had the most yards based on outside zone runs. And that's basically where Bijan flourishes is I get to choose where I'm going to run. The play goes outside, but I like to jump, cut inside, cut backside. That's how that goes. So we'll keep everybody kind of, as we get to the off season. Well, we're in the off season, but as we get to the total,
we've been in the off
season. And we get closer to the draft, you think that they're going to have to make these hires before April. So you really have 3 months before, and really a month, because all the good candidates going to be gone as soon as people get gone. We'll keep you guys updated. So end to the season, Another 8-9 season. The Falcons are Mr. 8-9, 7-10.
No, it's Atlanta, brother. Especially the Hawks and the Falcons. We love the Hawks love to play in. The Falcons love to be right there. As the closer to mid we can get. That's the worst thing y'all could have done is added a game so we can't be 8-8 every
year. So, with that being said, we'll move on from Falcons Focus, man. Bloody Monday. Bloody Monday. You got coaches and GM fired. Of course, we talked about Raheem. Kevin Stefanski. Browns. We knew you were going to get fired. He's 2-time coach of the year. I didn't know it was 2-time. How you get 2-time coach of the year and you only made the playoffs 1 time?
Because you're in squalor. And congratulations to the next guy who gets his job, what do? You get fired. It's 2 things that's going to happen. The Cleveland Browns going to get a new quarterback. The Cleveland Browns going to get a new coach. Then they're going to get a new quarterback and then get a new coach. And a new quarterback and another coach. And this is the thing. You're right. Because that's the part that's pissing me off more than anything is people are acting like Deshaun Watson no longer exists. Like he's a fucking ghost. He is a $90 million football player in a fully guaranteed contract. And y'all keep saying, well, who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? Probably the guy who you're paying an ungodly amount of money to. At least that's what I would assume. You're going to pay him $90 million to be in the background doing TikTok dances? Great.
You know, that's surprising. You brought that up. That's surprising. Kevin Stefanski did not want Deshaun Watson. Y'all made him get Deshaun Watson, and then you fired Kevin Stefanski and kept the GM.
I'm going to tell you. There's a couple things here. Number one, a running theme with me on this podcast is being fired is not the worst thing to happen. Sometimes the best thing you can do is being fired. I think the best thing that Kevin Stefanski could do is get the hell out of Cleveland. Because let's be real. I mean, he's going to be interviewed.
He's an offensive mind, and that's what Atlanta needs is an offensive coach. I would much take Kubiak, but he's linked to the Falcons.
I'm going to be very transparent and tell you the truth here. He has the Sam Darnold funk on him.
Loser stench. He needs to go to the Raiders.
Came from a terrible place, so we believe you to be terrible. I don't know that you're terrible because that place has been terrible for as long as I can remember. So do I believe that he's good? My perception of him, I'm trying to use the best words here. My perception is that he's not good. But I don't know. Nobody is or was going to be successful in Cleveland. That is an impossible job. So I just don't know. I would like somebody who had been a little bit more successful. Getting run out of Cleveland doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies, but getting run out of Cleveland also doesn't mean that you are terrible because that's a terrible place. And the new guy, the next coach at Cleveland, you're going to get fired. The new quarterback, you're going to be fired. That's what they do.
Yeah, I don't think the next coach and the next quarterback going to be saddled together. I think the next, to me, and we can move on, but the Browns, they're going to hire, they should do what Houston did. They need to hire David Tully. Not saying they need to get a black man. I'm just saying they need to hire a bridge
waste
coach.
A couple black men time. David Tully and Lovie Smith. That's what you asking for. No, don't do that.
Get one, but you got to get something to ride out this Deshaun Watson contract.
That's the reason I don't understand why they fired him. Because nothing, you can't fix this team paying what you're going to have to pay Deshaun Watson this year.
Nope. And you better hope Myles Garrett, now that he done broke the sack record, don't say, okay, I'm ready to go win.
I'm going to tell you about Myles Garrett. It's over. I'm out. I literally played this position better than anybody ever. And this is what we got? Show me the door. Don't talk to me. No. No negotiation. Him and Justin Jefferson, don't talk to me anymore. Reach out to my agent. I will never come back there and play again. You got to treat them like Trent Williams treated the Commanders. Never again. Never. I don't care what happens. hell can freeze over, I'm not coming back. Because Myles Garrett, you're closer and closer to the end of your career.
Yeah, but most pass rushers of that caliber can play till they about 34, 35. So that's 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay. You want to be Joe Thomas and spend your entire career being wonderful for the worst team in the world?
Carmelo Anthony, you took the money. Should have went to Chicago. So, I mean.
Okay, you're right. But what I'm saying is, in this NFL,
you got to out.
Don't call me. Hey, we're done here. I gave y'all 23 sacks and y'all gave me nothing. Where is the door?
You gave me 4 different quarterbacks. I agree. 23 sacks. He did break the record. Shout out to Myles Garrett. 23 sacks. That was absolutely crazy. The Raiders fire Pete Carroll.
Good. He wouldn't fire his family. He deserved it.
He was going. Yeah, you were about to waste Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers ain't gonna stay. I can tell you that.
They're not out of it either, because now Max Crosby's like, well, I'm getting
Max
older
Crosby's
too.
Getting traded. They're gonna trade Max Crosby. They need draft capital. Max Crosby does not fit it. That's what you like to say. He don't fit no timeline for the Raiders. Nothing. There's no scenario where Max Crosby needs to stay there.
Would y'all like another tight end? Because I will send y'all Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers? Yeah.
All you need is Arthur Smith at quarterback. You know what? Arthur Smith might not be able to control himself.
And then Rich Gannon fired by the Cardinals. We told you. Well, Norwood told you Kyler Murray gonna get you fired. And that joins the list with
don't short guys from Oklahoma get people fired. I tried to tell y'all
the Giants and the Titans moved on from their coaches, and the Titans moved on early. They saw what it was.
Titans, y'all trash. Y'all fired Rand Carthon, and then y'all just kept being terrible. Y'all deserve whatever that y'all get. I don't care.
They got their quarterback, though.
I can't empathize. I can't sympathize. Cam Ward is the man, but y'all have no team to put around him.
So hey, Simmons. Y'all want to talk
Isaiah
about
Simmons?
Could I interest you, Kyle Pitts?
No,
Simmons?
Yes. And Ant Ant. I'm interested in Isaiah Likely. Shout out to the Ravens paying the wrong guy. I would love to have Isaiah Likely.
Oh yeah. Him too.
Yeah. Y'all don't care about offense anyway. We'll let Kyle Pitts go. I would love to have Isaiah Likely be an Atlanta Falcon. I'm not in love with Kyle Pitts. Great season. Great. This is a Trae Young season where you score a bunch of points, you do all the things, don't get us completely not influential.
So those were that's for now. Those were the people that
people get fired. More people get fired.
There's gonna be a whole lot more. I'm surprised that the Giants kept their GM Joe Schoen. He's the one that traded Saquon Barkley to the Eagles and basically gave them a Super Bowl.
Yes.
I didn't understand that, and they kept him.
Do it.
Don't get it.
You let Daniel Jones leave and they go somewhere else to be a world beater till his legs fall off.
The Giants
don't want to win.
No, they don't. The Giants are poverty right now. The Bengals kept Zach Taylor, which I think was a good decision. They kept their GM Duke Tobin, which I think was a terrible decision. They don't have no defense. He's the one that didn't want to pay
Hendrickson.
And so they need to go get I think he's an interim GM. So they need to go get he didn't want to pay Hendrickson or old boy from Texas A&M.
Once again, you guys are doing a wonderful job. Keep doing more of that. Whatever you're doing when you negotiate on defense. Hey, man, what do we need training camp for? Just show up week 1. You'll be all right? We'll figure it out.
So now that we've gone through Bloody Monday, we can get back on schedule and go to these week 18 games, where we talked about the Falcons, the Browns beat the Bengals, all of the teams that don't matter. What's interesting is the Titans beat the Jaguars beat the Titans. And I need to clear out again. Matter of fact, we're gonna clear out and we're gonna do this so that
Oh,
they can make
for
sure that they see
Dolly.
you.
Yes. Oh yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars secured the division title with the 41-7 drubbing of the Tennessee Titans. Trevor Lawrence has the best year of his career. Their new coach is
Liam Cohen.
has led them to the division title. I know Baker misses him, and you said that Trevor Lawrence was a scam, and he's terrible, and all of these things. Still believe that?
Pay him again. If y'all can extend him right now, I mean, y'all got him through 2030. Sign him up through 2035. Whatever y'all can do. I think that, once again, he's a fantastic fit for your team. Y'all have found your guy's franchise quarterback. A matter of fact, guarantee all of his money. Give him a Deshaun Watson contract. I love that for you guys.
No kudos for them? No kudos for the Jags? Their defense, they have one of the best run-stopping defenses in the league.
Oh, no. The defense is immaculate. You had me talking about Trevor Lawrence. I think that this team, I've always said that if you look at the rest of this team, it's pretty solid. Even though, y'all remember Travis?
Boy, when he gets back, they're going to be crazy on defense.
It's like, now that we've also agreed that he's only a defensive player.
I think everybody said that, but
no, we did not. See, no, when we went into all of this, everything pre-draft, people argued me down that he was a wide receiver 1. I said he's not a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. He's not a wide receiver 1 on his team ever.
I remember some people saying that. I don't think most of the people I talked to, I thought they were going to use him as a gadget gimmick player and then use him on defense. And
I've had a number of people argue me down to my souls. He's a legitimate wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 guy. And I said he's a wide receiver 3 at best. If you look at the way that he runs routes, I mean, he's an athlete, but he ain't a receiver. He's a defensive back. And I think he could be a very good defensive back. But that offense shit should be dead. And I think that it probably is.
You can't win the division and change some. No, bro. Trevor Lawrence had the best year of his career.
I do think that the defense on this team is good. Shout out to the Falcons trading away Fourier Luakon and him being a world beater every day ever since then. Everything about the Jaguars defense is really impressive and interesting. I do like Brian Thomas Jr. I like Travis Etienne.
He only had 48 catches this year.
But I mean, if y'all want to believe in Trevor Lawrence, you're entitled to believe in it. I tell y'all all the time, believing in people means spending money. I would not spend money on that.
They already spent the money.
Right. Spend more money. That's how you tell me you're invested in something.
Yep. So the Colts.
Wait. Who do they play? Well, we'll get there. We can. That'll be the second.
Yeah. I was just gonna run through week 17 before. We're only talking about the games that matter. So the Texans beat the Colts. So the Texans are now the 5 seed.
The team to watch.
Looks great. Defense looks great. It sucks for the Colts. It sucks. This just misfortune.
Yeah,
misfortune. And you shouldn't have drafted Anthony Richardson. But the Jets versus the Bills. The Bills won. The Jets have no INTs for this year. Boy,
that's embarrassing.
As a DB, as a defensive coordinator and former DB, Aaron Glenn, that can't happen. That can't. I tell you one thing, can't happen again. I can tell you that it can't happen again.
Yeah, they're gonna give you probably mid-season next season. You better find you a quarterback
and a cornerback. The Lions and the Bears. The Bears secure the 3 seed because the Commanders beat the Eagles. The Eagles benched everybody. They were just like, well, 3 or 4 seed. 3 or 6 seed.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. 2 or 3 seed. They were fighting for the 2 or 3 seed, and they benched everybody. So the Bears are now the number 2 seed. The Eagles are the number 3 seed. So, shout out to the Bears. Shout out to Ben Johnson. Shout out to Ryan Poles.
Yes, correct. GM.
Shout out to the Bears organization for actually giving him an amount of time to do the job.
And once again, they knew they had their guy. They paid him a year early. And if you go back and listen to the podcast when we started the season, that was one of the 30 questions we had for teams was, should you have paid Ryan Poles before he won any games? In hindsight, and maybe we do a little short pod and like go back and answer these questions and see now that the season is over, how much those questions matter and were we right. But Ryan Poles was one of them for sure. And they're okay. They did their job. Eagles benching their players should be interesting. Them losing that game.
You get a home game.
Yeah, but you have a different seed. You got to win now. You have
if you
to
win, you have to go to Chicago. If everything holds and the favorites win, you'll have to go to Chicago.
What else do I have here? Jets, nah.
Chargers, Broncos. Broncos beat the Chargers. The AFC was kind of anticlimactic because I think everybody was pretty much locked into their seeds,
and the Chargers needed
the Jaguars and the Texans.
Yeah.
The Chargers benched everybody. They just trying to be healthy. And
now the other part about this is the Cardinals and the Rams, 37-20 is what the score ended up being. But it was well until like mid through the third quarter, and this is a 3-point game. Cardinals got some questions. I mean, not the Cardinals. The Rams have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots finally got a win against a team that was kind of winning in the Dolphins. They needed that win because the teams that they've beaten have been so questionable. The Dolphins still questionable, but they at least have been on like a 6 or 7 game winning streak. And let's get right down. Let's get to the brass tacks here. What we really here for? That bottom game.
Ravens, Steelers. The Ravens lose in a very Falcony way of missing.
No, that's a Raven night. We've been potting long enough to see how the Ravens do this all the time.
No, they actually won. They got there in a non-Raveny way. They actually threw the ball.
You remember how they lost last year?
To Mark Andrews, did he drop the ball?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every year is anticlimactic. The Ravens. First of all,
what a game!
What a game! Which should not have been a game because the Steelers have no receivers. Steelers don't really have much of anything on offense except for Aaron Rodgers, who is 85 years old. And somehow you gave up 26 points. And I just knew that Mike Tomlin not kicking that field goal was going to bite them in the ass. And it just didn't. It almost did, but it didn't. The Ravens, they do it every year. They don't. First of all, they didn't give Derrick Henry the ball in the second half nearly enough.
5 rushes in the second half.
I will give Isaiah Likely credit. He had a hell of a catch when they needed one. And then missed the field goal. And you lost to the Steelers, who have no body.
Context matters. Context matters. So this game, a lot of football happened. So Kyle Hamilton knocked out the game with a concussion.
Sure, fair.
I think they lost 3 players on defense. But that's inexcusable for how they lost. They just let the Steelers in that run game and Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren only has 14 carries for 66 yards.
Who is that?
I can guarantee you that he had 65 of those 66 yards after contact. The Ravens tackling was so bad.
Kenneth Gainwell?
Oh, he used to play for the Eagles. I know who he is.
Everybody on the Steelers used to play somewhere else.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, 31 of 47 for 294 yards and a touchdown. That averages out to 6.3 yards a carry. They didn't even throw the ball down the field, except for that fade route that was the touchdown. And to Baltimore's credit, Lamar, 11 of 18 for 3 touchdowns. Now, he did throw that pick, but for 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. But you didn't run Derrick Henry, who was going crazy. He averaged the same amount rushing as Aaron Rodgers averaged passing, 6.3 yards a carry. Zay Flowers, 4 catches, 138. I don't know who Devontae Walker is.
You don't know who any of these guys are.
Y'all don't even throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins no more. That's wild crazy to me. Ravens kicker. He choked, and I knew he was going to choke.
Big loop.
They said he hasn't missed. They gave all the praises as he charted on the field. And I said, oh, they did it to him again. He did it to me again. They did it again. And he missed. Now the Ravens don't make the playoffs. And instead, in a division just similar to the Falcons, in a division that you should have won where everybody sucks. Except
with an MVP quarterback. MVP level quarterback.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hall of Fame running back. And then you want to talk about receivers. This team deserves what they like. I want the Ravens to be good. I want to see Lamar Jackson be successful. This team is not built to be successful. And we watch them get to this point every year. And me and you have been potting for 3 years in a row, and every year the same thing happens. Anticlimactic, a loss at the end of the season.
Now go ahead.
Jim Harbaugh, what are y'all gonna do?
That's what will happen with Harbaugh and Lamar, because Lamar doesn't seem all the way in on Harbaugh, and Harbaugh, quite honestly, if you read the tea leaves and everything that's coming out with the rumors, it seems like he don't really want to be there no more.
To do this again? This is the same story every year. And you do position yourself with the way that this team is set up that we have to just give Derrick Henry the ball 35 times a game, because shout out to Josh and the Baltimore Ravens fans who think that Zay Flowers, you don't have a wide receiver who you can count on and say, hey, I need you to beat this guy consistently so we can stretch the field. You don't got that. You have a couple home run plays because Lamar is a magician, and then you think that that's acceptable. This is the reason the team not going to ever be good. You have no real offense. It's a joke.
So now...
you'll lose to throw Rogan, who has nobody who you can name. Do you know what Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Connor Hayward, Calvin Austin, Pat Freiermuth, respect, Adam Thielen? How y'all gave Adam Thielen to continue? You ever been in the arcade with no quarters? He said, hey, here go one, brother. Enjoy yourself. Get your playoff game. Now, I am pretty sure that they're going to play the Texans and get throttled.
Well, I mean, they get DK back. Being facetious.
Right. And you got to pay him all that money to be mid. You got MVS, Jalen Warren, Scotty Tuhati, and Jonnu Smith. And y'all lost with Isaiah Likely, with Mark Andrews, with Derrick Henry, with Lamar Jackson. What are we talking about here? But I like the Ravens, but y'all do this to yourselves every year. And you're going to do it again next year. It'll be the same. This story is never changing. It'll be right here again next year.
Maybe they'll go get George Pickens like they're rumored to be. But Lamar might not be there.
Do you trust the Ravens to go get a decent receiver?
I didn't trust the Falcons to get a pass rush, and we got one. So
message. Anything
so
is possible.
It may happen. So that moves us to the playoffs. You have the entire playoff picture where the Seahawks and the Broncos No, do that because we can get better. The Seahawks and the Broncos lock up the number 1 seeds, so they're the ones that get the buys. And I think the Seahawks and the Broncos, this whole playoffs, I'm not convinced that either one of them. Well, actually, the Seahawks are probably the strongest in my opinion, from top to bottom. But that
everybody here
can
can be.
Darnold.
Everybody here can be beat.
Everybody, which is really what it takes. And this may be the most entertaining wild card weekend. Maybe the most entertaining. You got the Rams versus the Panthers, this Green Bay versus Chicago, and then you have Buffalo versus the Jaguars, San Francisco versus the Eagles, and of course the Chargers versus the Patriots, and the Texans versus the Steelers. This taking away the 2 buys and making it 1 is a fun weekend.
Let me go through this. First of all, you got LA and the Panthers. Panthers already beat LA one time. You can't lose again. Matt Stafford fight for his life right now. What? You got the Packers versus the Bears. Huh? You got the Packers versus the Bears. Is just a great NFC North rivalry dogfight. 8 p.m. on a Saturday. That's just. I assume you get Jordan Love back. You get Caleb. You get the black quarterbacks in a duel. You think that you don't know who's going to win this game. You can see how both teams could win this game. That's a really good one. You have Josh versus Sunshine. Josh Allen. This is the first time you have no Lamar, no Patrick. Who else am I missing? No Lamar, no Patrick. What other quarterback? No Joe. This is your time, but this is probably the worst team that you have versus Jaguars, who are playing for whatever reason with their hair on fire. But you need to beat the Jaguars. You can't not take this opportunity, Josh Allen, to not beat Trevor Lawrence. You got the 49ers, who are zombies, who somehow figure out how to win every week, versus the Eagles, who every week you look at them like, damn, why is your roster so good and y'all play so terrible? The most unconvincing Eagles teams I've seen in a long time. Kev, please don't jump. Please don't jump me. Then you have the Chargers with no offensive line against the Patriots, who are looking to prove themselves and prove that Drake May is legit, versus Justin Herbert, who is always on the fringe of legit. That's a dogfight. And then Monday is the only game that I don't think is really up for debate. I think the Texans are just going to destroy the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers have nearly enough to play against the Texans, who I think have kind of fallen into the best team of all of these teams.
So for me, I'm not going to go through every game, but the games that I'm looking forward to the most and why is probably Bills Jags.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what Josh Allen is going to do, because even though there's no Joe, no Pat, no Lamar, there also is no wide and no receiver there in Buffalo. And he is going to have to.
Is Keon Coleman coming back? Is he coming back?
He's going to have to figure out a way to basically will this team to a victory. And I honestly don't know if he can do that against the Jaguars, because
James Cook
going to be right there.
James Cook, rushing champion.
That's
quietly.
Right. So is Derrick Henry. And, so now you have the Bills, and then Trevor Lawrence, who seems to have turned the corner with this new coach, who opens up and has worked on, this is coaching. He's actually, and I watched it, he's worked on the timing of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence gets at the ball out and is better in anticipating where the receiver is supposed to be, which is something that he could not do before. And now, through coaching, all of a sudden, it seems like he's doing it. Now, is this a one and done, or is this something that will be better? Only time will tell that. But for now, he's balling. So I'm excited to see.
Do you think it's sustainable?
With that coach and that scheme, yeah, I do. But he has to be that guy for that engine to work. If it doesn't, it ain't gonna happen. But I think it can be, especially with the receivers that they have. I don't know their draft capital. I don't do a deep dive into Duval. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then I'm interested to see Green Bay, Chicago. Love versus Caleb, of course. But then there's also Matt LaFleur versus Ben Johnson, which I think is a really interesting coaching matchup. And LaFleur somehow is on the hot seat. And they have no Micah. Now, they did just add Trayvon Diggs, who's fresh out the strip club, straight off the stripper pole concussion and mountain TVs or whatever happened, while he was also at a family function wearing a cheetah print jacket on the stage. So you have him. So those are the two games out of everything. I don't think San Francisco and the Eagles are going to be as entertaining as everybody thinks, because the San Francisco, you're putting Quinyon Mitchell on Juwan Jennings. What are we doing?
But the Eagles just keep playing down to their competition. They don't look. The Eagles look the least convinced. I'm like, yo, y'all are good at everywhere. Why don't y'all look good?
We said the same thing, and they won the Super Bowl. Now, I will say they're the matchup for that game is going to be the terrible offensive play calling versus Robert Saleh, and that is something you can 100% lose. But I think Tatum Bethune got hurt, who is the second-year linebacker.
Yeah, he's done for the season.
It's so much. There's so many injuries.
Nah, Kev, go ahead. Speak your piece. Is this your team?
There's so many injuries. I don't think that can happen. Same thing with the Chargers. Now, it's an interesting dynamic for that game because nobody believes that the Pats are as good as they say, because they play one of the softest schedules in the league. But Drake May and that seems to be for real. And Stephon Diggs is one of those quarterback making wide receivers. He's made a quarterback better everywhere he's gone. So that's going to be an interesting game.
It's top tier. The offense is bottom trash.
Yeah, it is. For the Eagles. And then also for player performances, I'm just looking forward to seeing this new era of quarterback. We just said no Lamar, no Pat, no Joe. That's been the last 8 to 10 years, right? Now we have Caleb, Drake May, and Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's old, black, middle age, questionable, black, solid, young, black, old as hell.
Yeah, so I just want to see the playoff debut of each of these quarterbacks. I want to see how Caleb does, but it seems like Caleb, the more pressure he plays under, the better he gets.
I'm rooting for Bryce. I want to see
Bryce Young against this LA Rams defense again, who plays really well, but Bryce is one of the most elusive quarterbacks I've seen in a long time. And I'm not saying out and you can be elusive and not be the best athlete on the field. But if the coach for Carolina can get him on some bootlegs, he's one of the best throw on the run guys I've seen in a while. And then Drake May. Drake May is the front runner for the MVP because Matt Stafford had the bad game versus the Falcons. If he didn't have the bad game versus the Falcons and throw those 3 picks, Matt Stafford's the MVP because he won the passing title. He threw for 42 touchdowns and 4,700 yards. And they get Devontae Adams back, who hasn't played. So you get them back. It should be interesting for them. So that's what I'm really looking for the wild card. This should be fun for us. This is going to be a great weekend. I'm not going to live stream. I might. I don't know. Live stream is a big commitment during the game. That's 4 hours. That's tough. But if I'm there, we'll
imagine old boy who do red zone.
Oh yeah, he said he don't eat nothing. He didn't eat anything. He didn't drink nothing because if he did, he said he would have had to use the restroom. So that's why he did it, so he didn't have to use the restroom, which makes sense. But I wouldn't do. You got to pay me $1 gajillion to not use and cut off my bodily functions. With that being said, though, is there anything that we missed or that you want to talk about before we head out?
We have nailed this. Once again, there are things that have been working in my favor. We will wait to see on a Trae Young trade, Raheem and Rich McKay out the door. Bama home, UGA home, Ohio State home. There's peace. All is quiet on the Western Front.
Florida built a whole new homestead.
We did. I mean, yes, correct. It's a struggle. We trying to figure the figuring, and we're gonna get there. But with that being said, thank you guys for rocking with us again on this beloved Monday Night Raw. Please stay engaged. We will be back for Saturday morning live to pick more football games. We will pick these wild card games. We will have updates next Monday for all of the college football games, which should be very interesting. Outside of that, before I get to it, anything else you need to tell the people, Reggie?
Like, follow, subscribe, support HBCUs, follow the Dive Team Media Network because we have more content from others on the way.
Number one, more black baseball. Ronnie Rockets is on the way. Prepare yourself, prepare your hearts, prepare your minds. Number 2, Kev said hello from the studio. Ain't that right? There he is. Number 3, the historically black college university the historically black college university your cousin went to, your uncle went to, your auntie went to, the person used to laugh and kiki in the back of church, send some money over there. The historically black college and university you go to in your neighborhood for homecoming step shows, to be around your people, for the vibes, to drink up the liquor, to eat all the chicken, send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. We only ask for $18.68. I got a degree from there. Reggie got a degree from there. Kev got a degree from there. And we all black learning men. Send some money there, $18.68. Outside of that, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we meet again, y'all be safe. And we out this thing.
As well. For collaboration, booking information, or any other inquiries, visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com. Every listen, share, and review is appreciated.
Wait, hold on. What should they do? Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Be here for it.